Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy New Year. Happy 2020, everybody out there. Hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. Happy holidays. Um, yeah. So, my Jeremy Majors, if this is your first time listening, I'm a dog trainer out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And yeah, this is year 18. Awesome. I've been doing this for 18 years. Isn't that crazy? And I'm still helping people. There's a lot of people that need help, understand what to do with their uh, obnoxious dog. Um, and I think in large part because of how we how social media really has changed our thinking on how we keep and parent dogs. So I'm here to bridge that gap. Um, those of you who are watching, feel free to ask any question you like about dog behavior. What we'll do here is go over the dog having our kennel current, and also some other stuff, because I do think addressing certain things that has happened is very important. All right, so let's see. What should I do first? Should I address? I had a dog. Yeah, I'll just get into it. Who cares? I had a dog who got away from me and was uh, gone for about a couple of days, and working with this rescue. And I won't mention the rescue's name or the organization's name because I'm not here to badmouth anybody, company or rescue or anything like that. But I do want to address the way that I handle dogs who run away, because I think it's very important to know the behavior behind it, and me and this company that is there to bring dogs back once they go away, once they run away. I do think that there are things that I would do different as far as getting dogs back. Okay. So let me first say that I never had a dog get away from me for that long at all. I mean, it is not very common occurrence that dogs get away from my care. However, this dog was different. This dog was the closest thing I would say to a feral dog that I've seen in a long time, if ever. And it was young too. So know that this dog genetically had a disposition that was very abnormal. Okay, so most dogs, when they do the fence or get away, they come back. All you gotta do is. But I want to educate people on the sort of psychology of a dog gets out and what to do that's best. Because again, I think that there are things that are unnecessary for certain dogs, and there are some dogs who need the approach that this company was taking. All right, so let's go over. Let's first go into what to do to prevent your dog from getting away from you, and or staying away, and or getting scared. Because the adult part is one of two things happen. The first one being the more common approach, which is you let the dog out, the gate is open, and the dog gets away from you, and you get the dog back because the dog's a social dog. And then the other part of the tricky part, and this is where I would maybe then recommend a company that came in and tried to rescue dog that got away from me, was those highly fearful dogs. The highly fearful dogs will avoid people, will avoid cars, avoid being captured because of their fear. And if anything, I fear very, very well. And again, I have never had a dog get away from me for long at all. Okay, I can usually get dogs because on average, most dogs are okay with. They don't have that level of fear trying to avoid every single person and every single car and thing and whatever we do to lure dogs in to get them back to their owners, right? So, by the way, anybody who's watching, feel free to ask any questions, or if you have any comments about anything that I say, please go ahead and interrupt. But I'll go on. All right. So the key on making sure, there's a couple of them. Let's go with number one. Number one. The number one thing to help your dog find its back home is to allow the dog to explore the immediate area. So if you have a dog who's known its backyard, right? You got a fence. The dog will develop. A lot of dogs will develop what I barrier frustration, which means especially if the dog is in the backyard and or running the fence, you might have a dog that will get out and explore the area because they finally are out. And it's a very, very common sense thing to know that if a dog can't go somewhere and then it finally gets the opportunity to go somewhere, it's going to go. Okay. And you know, fair enough. That's understandable. But one way to again improve that scenario is to out with your dog, not just on a leash either. Off leash is important, but on leash is okay as long as the dog's not pulling, because if you allow your dog to pull, that's also bear frustration. And if the dog does get out of your grasp, then it will tend to want to explore as well. Right? So cutting out the barrier frustration in 3 areas. 1, being in their backyard and the fence. 2, barking from inside the house, create barrier frustration, which creates dogs when you open that door on a boom, get out of there. So, and number 3, on leash pulling. Leash pulling, outside in the fence area barking, and then barking inside the house will create and or allow and or promote the dog when it gets out, it's gonna go. Okay, so training, shockingly enough, will help your dog not be so adamant about exploring that they're out there or their surrounded area. Okay, so train your dog. Don't let the dog pull on leash. Don't let the dog bark from inside the house. Don't let your dog bark from in the back or front yard, whatever it may be. Because again, you're allowing your dog to practice barrier frustration. And sometimes good dogs can do bad things, like not come when called, run, and or go start some trouble with other humans, things that are going on. So train your dog to become comfortable in the backyard. Train your dog to become comfortable in its territory inside the house, and train your dog that when you do take the dog for a walk, it's not all about peeing everywhere, sniffing everywhere, pulling everywhere. If you do those 3 things, you won't have a dog that will run away from you, because not only because you've helped them make sense of what to worry about and what to worry about, what to be obnoxious over and what not to be obnoxious over, but you also teach the dog how to listen. So if you want your dog to become runaway proof, then train your dog to be respectable about the things that go on in the world. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's what I would do different. All right. Again, The large majority of dogs are going to be okay with people. All right. And which means it's not going to be that hard to get the dog back. But this organization really promotes don't chase the dog. Don't approach the dog. Even them, they're telling the owners not this, where I disagree with that. I think the owner, most owners have the relationship with their dog that if the owner goes out and says, "Hey, Rover, let's go, come on," then the dog will do so. Now, chasing though is not good. I agree with that. This is what you want to do. You never want to chase. You want to do one of two things to get your dog back, to prevent them from running from you. One, and this is in regards to yours too. One, don't chase, but bend down, like squat down, and then call them. Wait till they come to you. And or when they do start to move towards you walk towards the direction you want them to go. Right? I remember I had a boxer who got away from me, kept crossing the road, and I was like, "Yeah, not letting you go near, buddy." So all I did to get this dog back was to walk back towards my kennel area, and the dog followed me right in there. That's it. So squat down. Never chase the dog. Squat down. The dog is much more likely to come to you if you squat down, and then do the sweet voice. Come on. Good job. And even if you want, back away. Dogs so much of a more forward and backwards sort of oriented animals. So are we, by the way. But if you've listened to me, you know that. So if you move away, the dog will tend to follow you. As opposed to if you move forward, the dog will tend to go away from it. But again, those are very specific dogs too. But again, it is breed dependent, it is temperament dependent, and all of those things need to take into account. There is just one way and one approach to get dogs back. Okay. So bend down, talk sugar, talk very sweet to the dog to get dog to come to you. And if they're truly fearful, they'll come to you. If they're being a brat, they'll make it a game and start to try and do this and like, well, you're chasing me, I'm chasing you. That's more of a, more of an obedient issue, not a full issue. And again, most dogs aren't to that fear level that they won't not come to the owner. They will come, and they will try and make their way back, despite what you think. Most dogs will try and make their way back. The really fearful ones will run until they feel safe again, but they'll try and come back, and then they'll just try and walk away or run away and this and that. But yeah. So just keep that in mind, guys. Like, if you have a decent relationship with your dog, don't let anyone tell you to not after your dog, because your relationship is unique, you and your dog, and when they know it's you, most dogs are going to come to you. All right. Keep that in mind, folks. Okay. If you have any questions about that, feel free to type in any questions or whatever. Lee says, "Bingo! This is how we trained. We were trained to train our dogs as well. Happy call never as well. Correct. Exactly. They don't want to miss out on something fun. You more fun than the environment. Be the most fun thing in the environment. They tend to gravitate towards that. You're exactly right. All right. So, what I want to talk about. Well, okay. I'll go over some of the dogs that are in my at the moment. All right. Right now, I have a Australian Shepherd mix who nips guests. About a year and a half old. Name is Moose, and this dog is doing awesome. Smart dogs tend to have the smart dogs, but are head cases. They think, and that's their issue, right? Most that are not as bright will allow certain things to happen, and just be happy, go lucky, and be very social dogs. But have a dog who's a thinker, who's a herder, who's in some level, a working dog, and you have to take that in consideration, that they are okay being assertive, and they also have to be smart to do their job. And so we are, I have to work with both their stubbornness, but also so it's always more stubborn than fear, but they need to spend time with who or a person who knows how to cut through the stubbornness, also elevates fear, so that they can become confident and also humble. Those are things that are important. Humility and confidence really makes for a very, very good dog. Because you can have very intelligent dogs that do very cool things, but at the same time, some still have that fearful stubbornness that I'm going to stick with being comfortable, care for things that are going to step on those, and they basically take too much space, and they can't necessarily handle that at the moment. Okay, all right. So that's Moose. Moose in a nutshell is a very happy dog. Very good dogs, but just needs more time addressing the fear. All right, and the insecurity. All right, and with Walter, very intelligent, knows what to do, but it's just getting the dog to understand that you can allow someone to take control for you, and for long enough. When I first took Walter on a walk, he was very sporadic about pulling and ping and sniffing and all of that very obsessive sort of neurotic behavior, where it's like, whoa, let's slow down, but let's take a breath. Let's and about halfway through the walk, he started to give in. But at first, he's like, whoa, where's my mom? Who are you? And where are we going? What are we doing? Here? And fair enough, because that's what happens when the first couple of days or whatever. But he's a really dog, and he really gives you that beautiful eye contact, and you can tell that he's had some good. However, sometimes just certain training is in a way working against what you like. Most people want a dog who they can have company around, and they can take anywhere and not to worry, as opposed to a dog who can perform well. But how you get both worlds is, what is the training producing in the dog as far as their ego goes? And if it's just a lot of performance and celebratory stuff, then that takes away from the patience stuff. That takes away from the behavior side of what's very important in teaching our dogs how to behave to the outside world. And that's important, because we want the dog to be embraced by the community, and not have that stress that they are going to do something to people or whatever that normally happen. So you want to be able to take your dog to places. Like, I had a phone call this morning, a dog that had Australian shirts, and they can't take the dog camping because the dog just barks it off and is super fearful of things like that. And so it's important that the dog can be able to accept advocacy from human, and not just do what they think needs to be done, especially when it's just normal things going on. Right? What's inevitable? It's inevitable that your dog is going to interact with guests. It's inevitable that dog is going to experience a UPS man, a Amazon driver, blah 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 blah. And it would be a good gift to give your dog the tools it needs to handle those things and become within reason, right? And reasonable means, when I say, hey, you should go lay down, you should be quiet, then there's that weight lifted off their shoulders, that, all right, my leader, guardian, parent, whoever you want to call it, said that this is okay, and I'm going to as such. Same thing as when you bring people. If you open the door, dog should kind of be like, well, they let them in, so let's treat them with a certain level of respect. That's what you kind of want with your dog, as opposed to, again, allowing you to manipulate your guests for the sake of happiness. And most people allow their dogs to greet them at the door and greet us at the door, where yes, some dogs don't bite in that situation and or jump in that situation, but it doesn't mean that it should be going on. And so I like to educate my owners on how to address that, so that especially in a young dog mind, if they have years and years of doing that, becomes such a habit of being able to manipulate guests when they don't need to be doing that. Even if you had like two or three children, even one child, that when they open the door, they go over to the guests and they go, hey, how are you? What are you doing? And they start to touch them, and they start to, say, pay attention to me, look at me, what are we like, just really kind of obnoxious. You want all that to happen, and you'd be like, that's not how we conduct our little Sam. That's not how we guest. And so it's kind of similar with dogs. It's not very similar. We want our dogs to welcome our guests and not necessarily be in their face and be obnoxious. Yeah, we're gonna help. We're gonna help Walter. We're gonna help Moose, and then I got a dog named Tango, who is a husky, mentally, but a shepherd physically. And this guy just wants to run. I mean, his attention span is like ADHD on 1000. And so I'm helping him become more patient. So here's something, and I made a video with him that I hopefully am going to share today. But I want him to be able to sit, not be concerned about what's next. Let's go over here. Let's do this. Let's do this. When dogs are in that mindset, they will become crabby if something gets in the way of it. And Tango, I remember if he did bite. I think he did bite the child in the house, and I know exactly why. And it's because his brain is just in 1,000 different places where we want to slow the wheels down in his brain, so that he can learn to just relax around the chaos, and not again be so consumed what the environment is doing, if that makes sense. All right, guys, those of you who's joined, free to ask any question that you like. All questions are good, so don't be shy. But yeah, those are the 3 dogs I got right now. They're all dogs. They're easy, and I very much so enjoy working with them and getting them out, and day by day, interaction by interaction, helping them become calm, because calmness is going to create clarity. Calmness is going to create the learning, but you can't have learning when there's reactionary behavior. If this means this, if this means then you aren't able to really out of dog process what's going on. If they have a say in they do all the time, or more times than not, if they are making decisions they shouldn't be making too soon, then that's when you facilitate insecurity and bad behavior. So cool. I addressed the incident with the dog be loose, and I addressed the dogs in the kennel. he is taking his time with other dogs. I'll tell you that. He wanted to assert himself right away. Again, we're talking about Walter. Oh, actually, I'm thinking I'm the Tango. I'm sorry. Walter, it was at first, slowly getting into the groove of it. But I don't rush that. My dogs do the reading also for me. If they know that Walt is someone who's shy, they're not going to press the issue. And so we're just taking our time with that. And by today or tomorrow, everything should be a little bit better. But it sometimes just takes time. So yeah. So yeah, I am starving, guys. I gotta go get something. I apologize, guys. I haven't eaten anything today. So that'll for today. That's the update. Feel free to reach out, guys, if you want more dates. But, that's where we're at today. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next week, Wednesday, for another update. Take care, guys.